Welcome to Creole and Cajun Living with Bob. Today I will be showing you how to make a homemade peach cobbler. It is Saturday night and I have a sweet tooth, so I decided to raid my cabinets and I found that I had some peaches, and I've decided that I will make a peach cobbler. So some of the ingredients that I have here that I will be using will be canned peaches, some vanilla, nutmeg, I have some cinnamon, a little baking powder, some salt, I have my flour, my sugar, my stick of butter, and some milk. If you want to follow along, you are welcome to. Now let's get started. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to start off doing is draining my peaches. I had 3 cans of 15.25 ounces of peaches here in heavy juice. I want to separate the peaches from the juice. So what I'm going to do is kind of drain it. And then I'm going to add the peaches back into my saucepan. I'm going to set the juice to the side. We'll get back to that later. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to turn the peaches on. And I'm going to add in my sugar. Okay, so I have it on medium-high heat. And at this point, I'm going to mix this up a little bit. Right, we want the sugar. Remember, there's no juice in here. We do want this to warm up. But we're going to add in my cinnamon. Just going to do a light coating like that. And I'm going to use some nutmeg. Not too much. I'm going to mix this up. We want this to heat up and to marinate. We want this to become like really thick and we want this to become really flavorful with those. Okay, so as this warms up, I'm not sure if you can tell, but that is thickening. Remember, there was no juice in here, and now everything is kind of becoming like a syrup, which that is what we want. Okay, so as this heats up, it thickens. But I do want it to end up becoming a little thicker, because we do know that this will not stay thick once I add the juice back to it, right? So we're going to actually make sure that everything thickens. So I'm going to make a slurry. What is a slurry? Well, it's where I'm going to use some cornstarch to add to this mixture, but I do not want to add it directly to the mixture. So because of that, let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, in order to make my slurry, I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm going to add. And then I'm going to use a portion of my juice. Not too much, but enough to kind of be able to whip something up. Then I'm going to take something to kind of blend it together. Now, I could have added this cornstarch directly to those peaches, but then we would have had a lumps of cornstarch, and I would have been taking forever to work those lumps out. So you take your time and pretty much just whip this together. Whip that up. And that's how you make a slurry. Okay, so you can see that the sugar is all melted. And we're going to blend this slurry in here. See how that is? No lumps. We made sure we took care of the lumps ahead of time. And what that's going to do is make this syrup thicker. What you can do at this time, you can kind of swipe a little bit and taste it. Give it a taste. See if you need more cinnamon or nutmeg. Just give it a taste. I don't want mine too sweet, and I think it tastes fine the way it is. Okay, I'm going to add in a little vanilla. And my melted butter. Stir this up. Look at that. Remember, it's okay to taste. Blend it up. Kind of give it a hit like that. Turn your spoon over. Swipe and taste. Wow, that tastes good. Now, when I added the butter to the mixture and the vanilla, it gave it a different flavor than it started out prior to that. So you make your adjustments based on how you like it. Don't be afraid to taste your food. Okay, so you're not going to know how thick your sauce is going to be until it actually starts to boil. And that is what I'm waiting for. I'm actually waiting for this to actually start to boil. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to boil. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually slow it down by adding the rest of the juice. And we're going to allow this to come to a boil once again. I'm going to give it a swirl. And I most definitely want to taste it. Remember, you want to taste every time you do something different, you add something. There's nothing wrong with tasting. Yes. Now, I didn't use a lot of sugar, especially for a dish like this. Something like this, if it was a little bigger, I would have used much more sugar. But I don't want it to be too sweet. And that is why I've only used 1 cup of sugar. 2 cups of sugar, I'm sorry. I used 2 cups of sugar. Okay, so while that is coming to a boil, we're going to work on the cobbler, the crust. So I'm going to use 1 cup of flour, to my 1 cup of milk. Get this out. flour, 1 cup of milk. We're gonna whisk that together. Blend this in. We're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Gotta help it rise. And then we have to add in my 1 cup of sugar. And we're gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And let's blend this in. Get it blended really well. This is going to be our topping. If you like, you can add some cinnamon, nutmeg if you want to. You can even add a little vanilla if you like, just to give it a little more flavor to the crust. That's up to you, but this is how you pretty much just make your crust, okay? So you can add some things too. Now, me, myself, and I am going to add a little cinnamon to my batter. Not too much, just a little bit. I wanted to have that wow factor. When people want to know why my pies are so great, it's because I add a little something to the actual pie crust itself. And that's pretty much that. Okay, so we're back at the peaches and they look fabulous. Yes, they do. And we're going to finish this dish up. Once again, stir, swipe, and taste. That is delicious. Let me turn this off. Okay, so as you can see, and I think I've already mentioned it, I'm only doing a 9 by 9. Hopefully I didn't make too much. If I did, trust and believe we will be eating it. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to pour the peaches in. Wow. I think I need a bigger dish. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to change our plan just slightly a bit. What I'm going to do is make 2. I'm going to make this and this. Okay, so I'm going to have to switch some of this in here, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so as you can see, I've actually separated them. They're about even as far as height, and the same amount of peaches. Of course, there's more peaches in this because it's wider than this, but I think I separated it pretty well. Let's take a look. Let me try to see if I can give you a different angle. Okay, can you see that? Now, I wasn't really prepared for this. I'm not sure if I have enough batter for both, but we're going to try and see what it looks like. I'm going to just spread the batter. Let's see if I have enough for, I think I'm going to just have to make some more batter for the second one. Which is, you saw how quickly I made that batter. It won't take long at all. Okay, so that took me less than 3 minutes to put these ingredients together. Everything was already out, so it didn't take long at all. So let's actually add this. Now this one, because I'm adding the same amount, I don't want to add the same amount because it's much smaller. So I'm just going to add a little bit more to this one. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to see what this come out looking like. Okay? It doesn't have to be all spread all over the place. I did it that way, but it doesn't have to be. It will do its own thing in the oven. Okay, so my oven is ready and I'm going to put this in. And here is the finished product. Doesn't it look beautiful? Now, you don't want to cut into this and mess with it for about 15-20 minutes after it's done. You want it to cool down. Hot peaches and that syrup that's in there could be very dangerous. Okay, so what you want to do is allow it to cool down. At least enough in order for you to be able to eat it properly. And if you want to whip some whipped cream together and put it on top, or maybe some ice cream, that's even better. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll see you another time.